Hello, welcome to the Friends of Rosey Podcast. This is Catherine.
This is Alex.
Steve.
And Susan, who's eating her lunch.
Woo! It's a very spur-of-the-moment thing, and we've dragged Steve and Susan into this because we just finished listening to Hannah Kent. Woo! That was me wooing about me talking. Hannah Kent, woo! At the Writers' Festival. And we thought we'd just do a little quick shout-out as well because it's so good. It's so good.
It's an awesome event. It's great that we have it in the mountains, that there's a Writers' Festival for the mountains. Yeah. And Hannah was awesome.
Oh, so good.
And she's got COVID and she did it by Zoom. So that's even better.
Which, kudos to her. Do you notice she had to keep coughing, turn away and cough?
Sipping water.
I know.
Nice.
And how eloquent was she considering whatever's, cough, COVID, whatever.
It worked really well though. I was a bit sceptical. Same. And obviously it's a shame that she couldn't come and be there in person, but it worked really well. It was, Yeah.
I'm glad she didn't cancel.
I would have been gutted. And it was a full room. How many people do you think were there? Hundreds? Couple of hundred?
Yeah. I think the capacity is 260 or something maybe, and it was almost full.
Yeah, I'd say so. So she talked about her memoir, Always Home, Always Homesick. Have you read or listened to it yet? Oh, you have to. Can you share audiobooks on Libro?
I don't think so.
Well, I've got the book if you want to borrow it. It's signed by her, something in Icelandic, which I don't understand. Probably Björk lyrics. But yeah, she was just talking about that. Wasn't she great? Oh, yeah. How many people, you read a memoir and it's I went to Iceland and it was hard and I was lonely and it's okay, I'm not that interested. But with her, I just hung on every word.
But you're also the number one Hannah Kent fangirl, so
I can't deny that. But you also said the same, and you also said the same. Yeah. So I'm pointing to Steve and Alex.
But the first time I met you, you said you'd read Hannah Kent's grocery list.
Can you imagine? It would be so. I was saying to the person who sat next to me, and she uses words like galvanized and reluctant, and I was thinking I don't often use those words, but they perfectly summarize what she was saying. She's just so articulate and measured and. I don't know. I definitely think before I speak. No, other way around. See, there you go. Speak before I think. And it just, I don't know. It was so interesting hearing her resilience, I think, being left at the airport as a 16-year-old, just trying, and then writing the story of the last woman put to death in Iceland, which of course is
turned into Burial Rights. Her debut novel. Crazy that's a debut.
I know. Yeah. Number 6 on the ABC... countdown, which is great too.
And did any of you see the movie that Björk starred in, Dancer in the Dark, was it?
No.
About Agnes, about the last
I didn't know that.
in Iceland, yeah.
All right, movie night. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And Björk starred in it.
Yeah, she was the woman.
Okay. Agnes. I'll have to watch that because I know. Go back to Hannah Kent. Sorry, I am a fangirl, aren't I? But she wrote a screenplay for kind of a horror psychological thing that's on Netflix. I think it's Run
Rabbit Run.
Yeah,
did mention it in the talk.
Yeah. Which
I want to watch it. No, I don't think none of us here have watched it. No.
I looked it up and then it looked scary, so I was maybe I have to watch that when I'm not in a wussy mood because I think it is. It's kids creepy something. I'm being vague.
Did we all have a highlight of the talk? Do we want to go around, share a highlight?
We'll start with you because I don't have one locked and loaded.
Well, I already mentioned it when we just started debriefing after the talk, and then Cath was like, "This is great. It's great material for the podcast." So this is very completely unprepared and just kind of building off the conversation we were having before for context. But the interviewer Amy.
Yep. Comes to our bookshop too. We're a big deal. Amy works for Verona.
Okay, yeah. Asked Hannah a question about what it felt like to sort of, when she was writing the memoir, put herself back in her 17-year-old self's shoes and kind of revisiting diary entries and letters and emails that she had sent at the time, and, were there any moments that she sort of cringed? And Hannah was just so gracious about, her younger self, I think is how you put it, Cath. And she said something about, what a lovely thing it is to be able to measure growth, and I just really liked that perspective. I thought that was very insightful and very generous, and kind of a generosity that we should all have for ourselves, I think.
And she also said that she realised that through her diary, because when she first started the diary on her way to Iceland, she said something, I can't remember what it was now, but then at
So
the
I'm here to find myself or discover
Yeah,
myself
I'm
or
here to
who I
discover myself.
am. Yeah.
and then the end of that year, she said, I've realised that
No one really
no
knows
one really
themselves.
knows themselves. So that was what she was talking about. I mean, when I was 17, I wouldn't have written something like that.
That's like, I love that she's figured that out by 17. I think I
Yeah.
figured it out last year.
I figured it out about 20 minutes ago when she said it.
You're like, oh my God, yeah. She also said about that she was quite maternal. I really like that towards her younger self. And then she made fun of herself for speaking in the third person and being like,
Well, the questions sort of framed it that way.
It
So
did.
I think she was trying to follow the framing,
Yeah.
and then she was like, actually, these aren't the terms that I think about myself in. Because,
Yeah. But I mean, to look back on yourself, like, as you say, when I was 17, I was a dickhead, but to be like, actually, I was growing and I was learning and, yeah. It's interesting that I met someone next to us named Catherine. I
bet it was a Catherine with a K, though. Did you ask?
I didn't.
She
Yeah.
had Catherine with the C.
Energy, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah, it was
she
a
was
vibe.
sitting on her own reading before we got there. So
Exactly, yeah.
Catherine with the C for sure.
I totally agree. Now I've lost what I was saying.
You were sitting next to someone called Catherine. You met someone. You were sitting down. You were talking to them.
Talking to them. No, it's gone.
It's gone.
Hannikin's great. The end, basically. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed I've shared a highlight and everyone piggybacked off my highlight. But no one. So I thought it was a good idea, but apparently we've abandoned that format. So
I thought really interesting that she was telling her friends she'd never write a memoir.
Yeah.
Interesting to say. I was like, everything you've ever written is interesting.
it's true.
I hope she writes 5 more memoirs.
Yeah.
And
it was very exciting. Sorry to interrupt, Kath, but it was very exciting when she was talking about. She kind of talked about the experience of, especially because she writes historical fiction, like piecing it together from the ground up versus writing a memoir, which was like carving it away to reveal the shape, because she has, a wealth of information because it's herself, it's her own life. She doesn't need to conduct research in the same way, or if she does, she has all the primary materials. I thought that was really interesting, but she talked about like excluding things because she couldn't give them the space she felt they deserved, but thinking
weight.
maybe they could go into her next memoir and saying she might write another one. So that was exciting. Yeah,
it's funny, that was my first thought when I heard that her next book was a memoir, and I was a bit disappointed because I was like, memoir, I say I don't like memoirs, but I've looked back and I'm realising maybe I actually do, because a lot of my top ones this year have been memoirs. But I sort of thought, you're 40 something, like how much can you talk about, how much has happened in your life? And then I read it and I was like, oh my God, so much.
You two are the same age. She said she was 40, didn't she?
She did.
Oh my God, best friends. It makes sense,
Yeah, forever.
She definitely knows what she's doing a little bit more in terms of far out. Doesn't she make you feel like you could write though? Like, I feel like she's lulled us in. Like, although she did say that's what was interesting, and I don't know if it was a highlight.
No.
Well, that she said when she finished Be Real Right, it broke her. I don't know if that's what she used. She couldn't look at it for a few months after she wrote the last sentence. I find that fascinating because I think we know that writing a novel is hard and takes commitment and dedication and often years and years and years, but that she put so much into it, or that it took so much out of her. I don't know if that was a highlight, but I thought that was really interesting. What about you, Susan?
I had never heard Hannah Kent speak before, so it was all just brand new for me. So I just soaked it all in. I'm not quite sure I've got a highlight as such, but I did love her story about her first night in Iceland, where the host family forgot to come in, or the person meeting her forgot to come and pick her up, and because my very first day of teaching ever. I'd been sent to a small mining town in the Pilbara in Western Australia, and I got collected by the principal, which is, where his office was where I spent a considerable amount of time, even as a teacher. And he took me and put me in his spare room, and my family is not religious, and it was dark, and I looked up, and here's this massive glow-in-the-dark cross.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah, that I could see, and he was very religious, and I went,
yeah, of course.
So every time I think about people doing things that don't quite go to plan when they're having a big adventure when they're young, I always remember that huge cross.
Yeah, that's
But
funny.
yeah, I love the story of her first night. It was great.
Well, and that's why listening to it, I think, because she narrates always home, always homesick, and you could hear her doing the Icelandic accent when she read too. And, you know, she does break into Icelandic every now and then as well. So I think her narrating it was just a really perfect fit as well. Although it doesn't have the pictures. So maybe you just need both.
Well, so I was saying to Alex on our way here, I bought the book from you guys,
Yeah.
but while buying it, Alex was like, great book, but you should really listen to it. So then I went and bought the audiobook.
Yeah.
So I've got the best of both worlds now.
When you can look at
Yeah.
it as you,
Yeah.
Man. It's just so cool writing about something like that, especially as a non-Icelandic person. Like, it's quite brave. You know, I don't know, if someone from overseas came, you know, to New Zealand and was like, hey, you know, I'm going to write about this really big figure, you'd be like, well, hang on, you know, that shouldn't a New Zealander be doing that? I don't know, that is sort of the gut reaction, whereas, you know, she
just did it so much justice.
That's the
she
thing.
really, because she really cared.
She really, and you could tell, yeah. And I think she did talk about that a bit in the book, I think too, and trying to do it justice, and I definitely think she did. I've got to reread it. I need to reread The Good People too.
Well, yeah, I've only ever read Burial Rites and then Always Home, Always Homesick, so I haven't read either of her other novels.
Yeah, me too. I've got the others sitting on my shelf. But I've
Yeah,
not read them.
they're good. The Good People is about Irish sort of fae, like fairy folk, and sort of the same sort of thing with sort of traditions and things. And Devotion is Adelaide, people from Prussian, sort of refugees, but immigrants coming over for a 6-month journey on a boat to Adelaide. And so the first part is in Prussia, the second part is in the boat, and then the last part is arriving in Adelaide and what it's like being some of the first settlers. And I never want to immigrate anywhere enough to be on a boat for 6 months. Like, it's horrible.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I guess it makes you think what they were fleeing, I suppose, but yeah. So A+ would listen again.
Yeah.
A
Sure.
plus plus plus
Plus.
Yeah.
times infinity.
Would recommend. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely recommend. Burial Rites, of course. Always Home, Always Homesick. I think you could listen to or read without reading Burial Rites. Yeah, both of them together is always a good combo. Yay.
Sure.
Thank you to our special guests.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve and Susan. Round of applause.
Woo, 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 woo. You didn't even really have a choice. I was like, come on, let's go. Thank you, as always, for supporting us as a friend of Rosie, which Steve and Susan are. So thanks, guys. Awesome. We'll send another one out soon. Cheers.
Cool.
Bye.
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 You got to say bye,
Bye.
Susan.